Good morning, my dear students. Are you fine? Okay, you're fine, very well. Today we are going to learn about the diseases. Okay, before that we have to be fresh so that we can do an exercise, breathing exercise. Okay, so first of all, close your eyes very slowly. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Open your eyes very slowly. Okay, so we can go to the class. So in previous classes we discussed about communicable diseases. Okay, communicable diseases means these diseases which spread from one person to another person. So in this class we can understand how do these diseases spread from one person to another person. So first of all, you have to take page number 213. Spread from one person to another person. Okay, so listen. When a person carrying germs of particular disease comes in contact with a healthy person, the germs can transfer. Okay, a germs such as bacteria, fungus, virus, protozoa. Okay, any germ which has or which carries a disease. Okay, if the such germs spread diseases from one person to another person. Okay, so a person who has the disease, okay, and then he touches another person, okay, then the another person will also have what? Disease. Okay, so in this way the communicable diseases spread from one person to another person. Okay, the germs enter the body of a healthy person and that person then suffers from disease carried by germs. When a germ enter into the body of an healthy person means who has no diseases. Okay, so a germ which enter into a healthy person, okay, and after that the person suffers. Okay, the person will have disease. Okay, disease, or the person suffers from the diseases. Okay, so germ which enter into the body of a healthy person and that healthy person was from the disease brought the disease by the, okay, suppose virus, which virus carries some disease. For example, virus carries influenza, virus carries corona. Okay, suppose a virus, coronavirus which carries a disease called corona. Okay, if the virus, that is coronavirus, enter into the body of a healthy person, okay, healthy person means who has no disease, who has no any diseases. So this coronavirus enter the body of a healthy person, then that healthy person will suffer from the corona, the disease called corona. Okay, the person will suffer from the corona diseases. Understand? In this way, diseases are spread by the germs. Okay, germs. So what are the, or which are the diseases which are carried by, which are brought by the germs? Okay, so that let us find measles. Okay, measles is disease. So measles, symptoms of measles, that we will study symptoms and causes. Okay, symptoms of communicable diseases, that we will study in coming classes. Okay, so the main symptoms of measles is what? Fever and cough. Okay, so the diseases which are spread by germs are measles. Okay, and influenza is another disease, and ringworm is also another diseases which are infectious disease, that is communicable diseases. Okay, so the diseases such as measles, influenza and ringworm are communicable diseases that can be spread through direct contact between a diseased person and healthy person. Okay, when a diseased person touches a person or another person, another healthy person. Okay, so if the diseased person has the disease measles, measles means anjambani. Okay, so a diseased person touches a healthy person. Suppose the diseased person has the disease measles and he touches an healthy or a healthy person, then the healthy person will suffer from the measles. Understand? Suppose I am a diseased person, I am suffering from what? Measles. I have measles, the disease measles. Okay, if I touch another person, okay, if I touch another person, then another healthy person, then the healthy person will have the measles, because I touched the healthy person, so that the healthy person will also have the disease measles. Okay, so measles and which are the measles, influenza, ringworm. Okay, measles, influenza, ringworms are spread, are carried from one person to another person, are spread by direct contact. Okay, so write examples of some diseases which are spread by direct contact. What are they? The diseases measles, ringworm, influenza are the diseases which are spread by direct contact between a diseased person and a healthy person. When a diseased person touches a healthy person, then if the diseased person has measles, influenza or what, ringworm, then the disease from this diseased person will spread into healthy person. Okay, and after that the healthy person will also suffer from what? The diseases. In this way a disease is spread from a diseased person to healthy person. So which are the diseases which spread or which are spread by direct contact? Measles, influenza, ringworm are the diseases which are spread by direct contact. Okay, so next, spread through, next topic, spread through food and water. Some diseases can be spread through food that we eat and water that we drink. Okay, there are some diseases which will spread, okay, which will go from one person to another person, okay, which will enter into another person from one person through food and water. Food and water. So germs carrying diseases such as cholera, typhoid, jaundice, tuberculosis, okay, and food poisoning are found in food and water. Okay, the germs, some germs are seen in food and water. Okay, and also some germs which are seen or which are living in food and water. Okay, such germs carry some diseases which are cholera, typhoid, jaundice, tuberculosis and food poisoning. Okay, some germs spread some diseases. Which are the diseases? Cholera, typhoid, jaundice, tuberculosis and food poisoning. Okay, suppose this is a germ. This germ spreads some diseases. Which are the diseases? Cholera, typhoid, jaundice, tuberculosis and food poisoning. Okay, suppose this germ which spread these diseases which are cholera, typhoid, jaundice, tuberculosis and food poisoning. Okay, these germs, this type of germs live in food and water. Okay, so a germ which spreads these diseases lives in food. Usually they lives in food and water. Okay, so the diseases cholera, typhoid, jaundice, tuberculosis and food poisoning which are carried by some diseases, which are carried by some germs, that type of germs usually live in food and water. Understand? The diseases cholera, typhoid, jaundice, tuberculosis and food poisoning which are carried by, which are spread, okay, which are spread by some type of germs. That germs, okay, usually live, okay, usually exist, live in food and water. So when this type of germs lives in food and water, okay, suppose there is a food and that food there is a germ, okay, which spreads cholera, typhoid, tuberculosis, jaundice, etc. Okay, so there is a food, that food contains what? Germs which spread these type of diseases, and after that we eat, suppose we eat that food and germ will enter to our body. okay, the germ will enter into our body and we will have what, or we have, and we will suffer from these diseases. Okay, so the cholera, typhoid, tuberculosis, jaundice and food poisoning are spread by some type of germs. That germs usually live in food and water. Suppose there is a food or there is water in a bucket, okay, in a container. That water contains germs. Okay, suppose we drink that water, and what will happen that when we are drinking the germs, when we are drinking the water, the germs will enter into our body. Okay, and we will have to suffer the diseases, suffer from the diseases. Okay, so some type of germs which are living in water and food, which spread some type of diseases. They are what? Typhoid, cholera, jaundice, tuberculosis, food poisoning. Understand? Okay, so the germs which are living in water and food spread some diseases. Which are the diseases? Cholera, typhoid, jaundice, tuberculosis, food poisoning. So these diseases enter into our body when we are eating food or drinking water, or these diseases spread through food and water. Understand? These diseases spread through food and water, because the germs which are spreading these diseases usually live in food and water. So which are the diseases those spread through food and water? Cholera, typhoid, tuberculosis, jaundice and food poisoning. Which these diseases are spread through food and water, because the germs which carries these diseases usually live in food and water. Okay, such food and water are said to be contaminated. Such food and water are said to be contaminated. Contaminated means what? Polluted. Contaminated means what? Polluted or dirty. Such foods are called contaminated food, contaminated water, or polluted water, or polluted food, or otherwise we can say unclean water and unclean food, or otherwise we can say dirty food and dirty water. Okay, usually in common they are called what? Contaminated. Contaminated means polluted, vruthiyillatha. Okay, polluted food and polluted water. Okay,